Let me copy this link to send this through. How do I do this? Send via WhatsApp. Okay, so welcome. This is Joseph, the wing bro, reporting to you for Thursday night duty from my seedy apartment, my komunisti apartment here in Vrakar, Belgrade, downtown Belgrade, Belgrade, Serbia, Republika Srpski. Jesam Srpski, volim Belgrada, fuck NATO. Those are the only three phrases you need in Serbian. Volim Belgrad, fuck NATO. Those are the key words. So let's get going. Today, the live is going to be about a multitude of topics. We're going to talk about the limitations of daytime cold approach, but we're also going to talk as well, just to intro this, about the importance of daytime approach. So the title of this live was, Boys, Smash the Screen. Go and approach. Smash the screen and date organically. When I say date organically, it means meet the girls face to face, meet them in the coffee shop, meet them in the street, meet them in your class, meet them in the bar, meet them in the club, meet them in the church, wherever you meet them, right? Let's get some organic interaction going on again, okay? The younger generation now is really struggling with their social skills because they're not developing this enough. And it's a real shame. It's a real shame. It also offers an opportunity, though, for those who do, for those who can be bothered. You're competing, essentially, you're just going to be king. You're going to be king of the field because no one's going to be able to compete with you. No one's going to be able to compete with you. So guys, in Europe, UK, US, if you can actually approach daytime, there's virtually no competition. So I've been doing this all over the world, but last time I was in the UK, I was like, man, the competition here is actually pitiful. No one even tries. And I go out, or me and my friends go out, and we'll enjoy it. But you see the responses from some of the ladies out there. They're like, wow, a man's actually talking to me. A real life man is talking to me, and it's like a very exciting thing for them. Yeah. So go and make it happen, guys. Go and make it happen. If you want to know how you actually do it, because it does require a little bit of skill. It does require a little bit of skill and a little bit of experience. Just watch the rest of my videos. Watch the rest of my vidskis here. You'll see me talking about cold approach in the UK, Latin America, Serbia, Bosnia, Macedonia, Turkey, everywhere. No hablo taka. Oh my God. We've got international idiots on. Wow. International fools on. So just anyone in the channel who is being an idiot, you have to know how draconian I am, right? I am a channel fascist, yeah? I have extreme channel border control. So if I see stupid people saying idiotic things, I'll just kick you out, yeah? I'm not bothered at all. It's just a few friends I really do this channel for, and just for my own interest. Just before I get started with the main topics, just want to give a bit of motivation. The growth you get, let's say you're a kind of slightly timid guy, you're a slightly shy guy, or you're just slightly hesitant when it comes to your approach. The growth you get through engaging with this process, going over to the girl in the street, hey, stop, excuse me. Hey, yeah, you look amazing there. Okay, you're out. TS, you're gone, my friends. Goodbye. Bye. Let's get them out. Hide user on channel. Hopefully that person goes away now. Yeah, bye. The growth that you get from doing that is really substantial. It's really substantial. When I think now, I can go around places in like Eastern Europe, in the Balkans, which are very, very socially conservative. People do not approach at all. I can just go out, I can stop single girls, groups of girls interact with them, pay them a compliment. Sometimes it goes somewhere and I go and get their details. Sometimes like literally last week, their boyfriend comes around the corner. The fact I can actually do this now is such an addition to my life. And you kind of normalize it like, yeah, that's just what I do. That's just what I do. Whereas 2-3 years ago, I couldn't have done this. Reluctant gamer, I smoke too much weed. You got any advice? Yeah, stop smoking weed, mate. Bye. Sorry, dude. You're not the right fit. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not interested in people stuff like that. If you're on that level, I'm not the person for you, man. Go and speak to someone else. My channel is really for people who are already, they're ambitious and they're firing and they're just wanting to break out of this bullshit, conducting their personal life through screens. So yeah, I was just going to say that, just finishing off that point, the personal development you get from daytime approach is really significant. And there are times where I miss the kind of nighttime approach because it's something I really enjoyed, but nighttime is so inconsistent in terms of venues, in terms of quality, and it's also got a lot worse. It was getting worse before the pandemic, and since the pandemic, it's got a lot worse. So now, daytime approach really is where it's at. So I'm on my kind of off season at the moment in terms of approach because I've got so much work on, but I'm still knocking out stuff in the week. I don't know if I've knocked anything out this week, maybe one this week. But Saturdays I'm still going out and approaching, and just chatting up girls basically in public spaces. Yeah, watch out if you're in Belgrade. Don't let your mum out in Belgrade. Don't let your girlfriend out or your sister out. I might go and chat her up. But at the moment, I'm kind of in the off season. This is just almost like just keeping the wheels turning for probably going to be the summer. It's probably going to be the summer where I'm actually really wanting to go out and make an impact and have some escapades. So let's get into the main body of the video. Hopefully that's a little bit of inspiration for anyone who's new to the channel. I'm the Wing Bro. I'm Joseph here, coming to you from live in Belgrade. So the theme for today is, there's a couple of themes: the limiting factors in dating. And I also just want to take issue with this theme of the dating scene. I saw a lot of videos today. I was having a look through, trying to get some inspiration. People, particularly Americans, talking about how the dating scene is fucked. I feel bad for Americans when it comes to the interpersonal mayhem that has been constructed in that culture, because there is no dating scene in normal countries. Dating as a concept is basically a way to extract more money from you, historically. Like, here's how people used to date in the 1950s. You walk out the door, there's a girl there. Hey, what's up? You chat to the girl. You go for a walk with the girl. There you go. That's your wife. Your personal life is sorted, right? You do not spend any money. You're chilling, and that's it. You don't have grandiose expectations of this, that, and the other. She doesn't either. That's your personal life done. You have children, you have a family, and this cycle perpetuates. Right? Now you've got, and this goes back to the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Now you've got this whole freaking merry-go-round post-1960s where everyone's going around and dating everybody and all this kind of thing. And okay, yeah, we're all doing it now. We've all been corrupted by it. But to the idea of a scene, yeah, that really is like, that means that, especially as the men, it means you've totally accepted female promiscuity, like completely accepted it. Whatever, man, whatever. This is not good, but it's always been designed to extract money from you. Just remember that. At the expense of your life as well, your life and opportunities. But so yeah, the idea of a scene is fucking ridiculous to begin with. People are now complaining. Now it's got even more insane. At least back in the day, people were going out and they were actually having fun, and that is a positive. Now it's got absolutely ridiculous, where people are complaining about the dating scene, and then you see the interview and you're like, no, what you mean is going on apps. Yeah, that is not a fucking dating scene to any normal person in human history. Going like that on an app. Yeah, pictures. What's up, Ian? That's not a scene. That's not a scene. Being at home scrolling on an app is not a scene. It's not a fucking scene. No one can see you. Yeah, yes, you're not even in a public space. So it's really crazy to me that people think that is the scene. Okay, that isn't a scene. But even more broadly, there is no scene. There is never a scene when it comes to dating. There is just humans. There's just you as an individual and that woman as an individual. Anything exterior to that, the scene, is not even relevant. It's not relevant. Yeah. I'm just thinking back right now to thinking back to my bus stop approach in Manchester. It was probably the first daytime approach I'd done where I really felt like I was way breaking out of my comfort zone, because it was a crowded bus stop. So that would be like there's a background there, and within about 5 seconds, everything else was just a blur, was uninteresting. There is only ever you and the girl. Everything else is fucking irrelevant. There's only ever you and the girl. Okay, you might get some intruding characters like in 1 in every 20 approaches. You just get rid of them. But there's only ever you and the girl. So this idea of a scene, like, oh, the scene is bad, the vibes are bad, the city's bad. What are you talking about? There's only ever you and that one girl. There's only ever you and that one girl. So don't worry about what everyone else is doing and all that type of thing. And the reality is that most men are just running scared. They're running scared, and they're too afraid to even admit they're afraid. I suppose this is what differentiates someone like me and guys in the entourages. I could do approach in pretty much any nighttime scenario pretty fucking demonically, but daytime, different things. Struggled to do it. We're struggling with it, right? But I could admit it. Most guys out there, they won't even conceive of an approach, and if they did, they would dismiss it. And they wouldn't even admit they've got any fear around it. But I can see it clear as day. I can see it when I'm out. I can see it even at nighttime. A lot of guys have got a massive fear of approaching even at nighttime. It's really heinous in our culture. Men have been stripped of their nature. But all of that, it doesn't even really, like, there is no competition really for you, to be honest. Like there used to be. There isn't. There's just no fucking competition. So yeah, that's a positive. But yeah, just this idea of there being a dating scene is complete bullshit. There are just other humans. So I've got a lot of positives there at the start of this video. Now I want to come on to some realism about my own experiences, which I've done daytime approach in, I think, I don't know, pushing 10 different countries in the last 18 months. I don't know. Some of them quite difficult as well, like Turkey, Bosnia, Serbia, North Macedonia. These are not exactly the easiest territories. Serbia's all right, to be fair. I think now it's -5, so you can imagine the cold approach is like extremely icy approach. I think in summer it's going to be good, but some of these places, Turkey and Bosnia, that's no cakewalk, man. And I've had success in those places as well. However, there are limiting factors. So let's go through some of these now. But yeah, let me preface these limiting factors with this one fact, this factoid. There are 4 billion women on this planet. Probably about 1 billion of them are of, like, should we say, dating age. 1 billion. Yeah, 1 billion. It's not an infinite amount, but the odds are in your favor. Yeah, that's 9 zeros. Yeah, the odds are definitely in your favor of you finding someone. But let's look at the actual limiting factors in daytime cold approach. Let's just focus on daytime for now. Number one, size of the city. Size of the city. Size of the city. That is the number one limiting factor, because larger cities, you just have more traffic and you have a slightly more open social environment. You have a social environment. If you're in a like a little village of like 20,000, you're probably just better off just focusing on the girl who works in the cafe or something. You can still go and do it. You can still give it a try, but your pool of women is like maybe 2,000 or something, which is still quite a lot, but still, culturally, it's not going to be that great for you. You've also got limited places in which you can approach if you're in a very small city. Um, so, and people who live out in the sticks, like out in, the countryside and stuff like that, I actually can't believe they even think. I can't believe they even think they can integrate cold approach into their lives. If I'm being honest, it's like it's so obviously it's so obviously like the worst possible scenario for cold approach, day or night time. You've got to be in a city of at least 300,000, man, and that's no, really, it's got to be 500,000. It's got to be 500,000 to have that good traffic, that good flow, and the good places to go with the girls as well. So if you're in a village somewhere and you're watching cold approach, you're thinking about cold approach, you're wondering why it's not happening, what the fuck are you doing? Cold approach Bakewell. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous, right? So, but intelligent people do get it into their head. They're going to do cold approach in the fucking village. It's not going to happen. It's not real. That is not actually fucking real. It's not going to happen. So yeah, you're going to be severely limited by that. I mean, I remember going down to visit my friend in Stratford upon Avon, birthplace of Shakespeare, the legend, which was actually it was a great weekend, it was a great visit. But I remember we went out to some like bars and like clubs, sort of bars and strip clubs and stuff. But I just remember the bar scene there just being like, this is just so inbred and like, you know, it just seems so closed, and there was very heavy drinking going on. But I'm just like, this is just trash, man. Like, why don't we just go to Birmingham? There's like 1 million people there, and actually, there's some good places in Birmingham, some hot girls in Birmingham as well. It's not not the greatest city, but like there are at least a lot of people there. So yeah, I just remember that from Stratford. Really, really poor effort. Other small places as well in UK, these little villages, people's where they go to uni, and Durham and Oxford and Cambridge, all these small little places. Um, you know, you're not going to do anything there. Kiel, you're doing fuck all there. It's just, there's no point. Okay, so location, size. The next aspect of location, which is super important, is culture. This is massive. This is utterly colossal, right? Culture, everyone in fact is formed by culture. Absolutely everyone is formed by culture in one way or another. Okay, they just are, right? But about 90% of people are so brainwashed in their culture that whatever their local norms are, they just don't even question them in the slightest, right? There are people who do question, even without travel, they will question what the hell's going on around them, and they'll stick to their guns and they'll do their own thing. Yeah, those are the people I'm actually interested in meeting. But most people are, and everyone to some extent is, but most people are completely conditioned by culture. So this is hugely important. What are the cultural expectations where you are? Okay, so I'm in the Balkans at the moment. Yes, I can still go and approach, and it's effective, but it's very, very unexpected. It's unorthodox, right? The local guys just don't approach at all. The local guys don't. They're big, tough guys. The only time I really see them approaching a little bit is in the gym. It seems to me to be a somewhat female-dominated dating market. It seems to me. I see it's more like the girls a little bit in the gym flirt with the guys. It's more of a boyfriend-girlfriend type culture. That's what I see. I don't see very much of a hookup scene here at all. Now, obviously, it goes on. Of course, it does. Right? This is human beings. But compared to some places that I've lived, this is just way, way decreased. And that's observing the locals as well. As Ortho Christian, they didn't go through the Renaissance or anything like that. They didn't have any of this sort of openness that came into Western Europe. They had no Renaissance. They were under the Ottomans. They had no Enlightenment. They were under the Ottomans. In the end, all of that and then they had all the fucking, then they had the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Then they had well, the Byzantines, the Ottomans, the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Then they had like the World Wars. Then they had the Balkan Wars, right? So they have just not had like they've had a completely different history, even though they look quite similar to Western Europe physically. Different alphabet, obviously, and that really widespread hookup culture, it just isn't here to the same extent. I'm nowhere near, to be honest. Like Spain, like Serbia compared to Spain or something, or compared to like Cuba or Brazil, there's just no comparison, right? Um, but that said, it all goes on in every country, so you can't ever rule that out. But yeah, could you come here and get a girlfriend? Yes. Could you get a girlfriend from Cold Approach? Yes, absolutely. But still, there's going to be a few adjustments, right? And guys who've dated around the Slavic countries, Eastern Europe and stuff, they all have different experiences. The countries can be like super different. Heard good things about Poland. I think Russia, from the Russian girls, for the ones I've met, seem more like a bit more open, to be honest. There's this sort of femme fatale Russian thing going on, which is a very real thing. Um, so the culture is important. And then let's take it another extreme, way further on than the ortho culture. Let's look at like Islamic culture. Yeah, you think you're gonna go to fucking Baghdad and just be like nailing hoes in Baghdad? Fucking hell. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. You're gonna go to Mali, yeah, and you're gonna have, well, actually you might have 9 wives. Actually, you actually would have like 9 wives, so it could be quite good. But you run into the wrong person's wife, you take a selfie with her, yeah. He thinks you've stolen her soul, with your selfie stick, and that's it. You're getting stoned, So the culture that you're in is super important, is super relevant here, is super relevant. So Islamic cultures, that's actually one place that Turkey's as far as I would go. Bosnia is obviously, I mean, Bosnia is the most moderate kind of Muslim slash ortho, whatever the hell you call that. DMZ divide, you can imagine. So that's probably about as far as I would go. You can do cold approach in Bosnia. You can get a girlfriend. You can get a Muslim girlfriend in Bosnia. They're very, very chill. The history there is completely different. Turkey, you can. There's secular girls and there's Muslim girls as well. But even Turkey, man, is a stress. It's a stress. We've got a guy in the entourage, Balthazar. At the moment, he's going down doing his stuff in Egypt, which I think is fucking cool. He wants to go to Morocco. I've been down there. Interesting fucking shit down there, but yeah. In most Muslim countries, it's just not real. You're not going to be doing fucking cold approach in like Oman. Do you know what I mean? That's just not fucking real. Okay, it's this is the thing about that whole culture is like, yes, there's an aspect of it being strong, sure, but there's also like the fact that men just get shunted into being family men at like 23. Like you get a wife, and at 23 you probably take one, but you are just shunted into being a family man. Women as well. So I don't know, man. I don't think it gives you much room to really explore. But anyway, that's just none of my business, really. That's their business. And yeah, so that would be that area of the world that's off limits. I think Asia's pretty good by the sound of things. Asia's pretty wide open by the sound of things. Africa's obviously a mixed bag, but yeah, Christian Africa, you're good to go. Latin America, you're good to go. Europe and North America, the cultures are amenable to cold approach, definitely. But it varies from city to city, place to place. So yeah, you cannot get past that. You can't get past culture. There are other things as well though, is would you actually want to date the girls in all these cultures? So like, yeah, like, there's some places where like I just find the girls almost repulsive, like in terms of personality. Well, not almost. Like actually, some countries I'll cross the street if I hear their annoying voices. I'll just cross the street to get away from them if I'm traveling. So I want to be near that. Yeah, so there's certain countries and cultures where you go, do I even if it is amenable, do I even want to? Is the juice even worth the squeeze? And in some countries, like, no, it's definitely not. The juice is fucking acid, yeah? It's poison, yeah? So the juice has got to be worth the squeeze as well. So yeah, that's another aspect, and that is also shaped by culture. Yeah, women more so than men even are really shaped by culture, like really, really shaped by culture, really fucking brainwashed. Um, it's in their nature to be, man. Um, you ever heard of the war brides theory? That's a theory that's worth looking into. It's like the plasticity of the female brain, more plastic than men, so more easily influenced. Which means, yeah, bad culture can mean some really shit women. A good culture can mean really good women. It's kind of cool. Um, so yeah, so the actual culture forms the expectations of many women, and then obviously they have their micro culture as well, like their family and so on. So if their family is good, even in a shit country, then they can actually be raised quite well as well. So there's always hope wherever you are. I'm talking about girlfriend wife material here with this, not just talking about shagging. Um, but yeah, like would I want to have a Canadian wife? Fucking Toronto wife? Probably not, if I'm being honest. No, definitely not. It's just not competitive in comparison. Would I want a wife from my city? No, not competitive enough. Kind of be, but probably wouldn't even go on a date with a girl from my city, to be honest with you, anymore. It's just not competitive. I'm an entrepreneur. I want a peak product for a reasonable. Well, honestly, I want a premium product for a low price. That's what every entrepreneur wants, and that actually does exist. So yeah, the true entrepreneur. Uh, yeah, the sexual entrepreneur. Um, what else do we have here? Yeah, culture is huge. Yeah, and just the physical fitness of the girls in the place as well. How fit are they? Do they get you going? Um, I've I've to some extent adapted a bit to the Slavic girls. I do like them. I admire them, and I'm even starting to sort of sexually desire them a little bit as well. Which when I first came out, I just didn't at all. I just kind of like to look at them a little bit, but I'd still approach. But I was kind of like whatever. Now I'm starting to get a little bit of that desire going, but not as much really as like Latinas and African and Caribbean girls. Um, so yeah, so location, big limiting factor, size of the place, culture of the place. Let's move on. Next limiting factor, seasonality. Seasonality. Yep, it's currently -5 in Belgrade. -5 here. Yeah, that's a limiting factor to daytime cold approach. It just is. There's less girls out. When they're out, they've got jackets on, they've got hats on. You can have some chat with girls about their hats. I did that last weekend. But it's a limiting factor. Get yourself down to the malls, obviously. Get yourself approaching a little bit in cafes, but it is a bit of a limiting factor for this in real life, as compared to sunny streets. When it's bright and sunny, boom, all the flowers come out. Women are like flowers and butterflies. They just float around to the nice places. When the sun comes out, they just magically appear in dresses. Like literally, they blossom. It's actually really interesting how women she has this kind of nature in her which does that. We just get our shirts off and go to the pub. They actually blossom out like a flower. It's pretty cool. But yeah, you don't see that as much, obviously, in winter. And even a lot of girls, when I've started chatting to them and stuff, they're just like, oh yeah, I just stay in every weekend at the moment. So they just stay in and hibernate. Yeah, they're not going to get out into the streets, but they feel it when spring comes. Spring is only a month away. You'll see the flirtiness starts to come out when springtime comes. So yeah, so if you're in a place that's got obviously up and down temperatures, here it's going to be like in the 30s in winter, in summer, so it's going to be hot. Right now it's -5 in February. So of course seasonality is major, especially like in many places in the world. If you want year-round options, go to the tropics. You want year-round, go to the tropics. Every single day it's hot. Every single day there are babes out. Every single day. Yeah, Caribbean, Thailand, parts of Africa. We'll have to skip over the Middle East. But yeah, you gotta go to the tropics, tropical regions. That's where you got every day. You can just do it every day. The only limiting factor may be, well, it's not even a limiter, is it really? Like the sun goes down, so it becomes nighttime approach, but you can still be doing a street approach till like 8, 9 p.m. No problem at all. street culture. So for me, the tropics are pretty much the best place to do it. Yeah, and that's why actually probably why the local guys in some places do actually do it as well. So yeah, so you want year round, you've got to go to the tropics. Seasonality, it just is what it is. Time. Next up, time. Let's get realistic here. Time. Cold approach does take some time. It takes some time out of your schedule. For me, I'm quite a ponderous cold approach guy. It's pretty rare I can get out of my house and I'm steaming into approaches straight away. SP, yes, brother, bratva, yes. Just saw you going live, man. Want to say hi. Don't forget you. Life in the north is tough. Work non-stop. Miss watching these lives. Got to get up early. Take it easy, mate. Sleep well. SP, when are you? How long you got this work for? Just before you get off, how long you on the job for? I remember you saying you were going out for a few months. I'm currently in Belgrade again, mate. I'm currently in Belgrade, so I've been in the last 90 days. I've been in Bosnia, Turkey, North Macedonia, now back in Serbia, and I'll be in a non-disclosed location in a couple more weeks. But yeah, mid-April, sweet. Well, I will see you probably back in the Balkans at some point. Hopefully, mate. The plan is to come out to Serbia for the summer, to Belgrade. I think it's gonna be crazy. I think it's gonna be fucking sick out here in the summer, July and August, mate. It's gonna be absolutely class. And then probably May. I'm thinking Albania in May. I'll probably be taking a trip back to the UK fairly soon because I've got a newborn nephew that I still haven't seen. So it'll be nice to see him, I think, at some point. But yeah, if you can make a little mission over to Serbski, I think you'll enjoy it. But yeah, good to see you, SB. But yeah, the topic I'm on anyway at the moment is time. Your time is a limiting factor with your approach. Of course it is. I'm quite a ponderous guy when I go out to do cold approach. Like, I could be so deeply thinking about something, and it's. I wish it was something like. You meet lots of English people. I wish it was something really cool, but often it's something completely ridiculous. I'm just thinking it could be work, but if it's not work, it could be geopolitics, or it could be history. There's so many things it could be, right? If I'm just on my own. So when I get out, I like to socialize a little bit first. Let's go and get a coffee, speak to the people in the barista and stuff like that. Go to the shop, speak to the person in the shop. Maybe just, I don't know, just chat to just like an old granny or something for 2 minutes. And then I'll go and do an approach. First one, bang, just get that going. Next one, etc., etc. I like to actually, just build my way into a session, particularly if I'm solo. You don't exactly got to warm up. You don't have to. You can actually just go straight in because that's kind of like a super, it's a super warm up. But if you've been in work mode, exactly, why not use a warm up? So I'm not the swiftest approach guy. People like I can just go out for 30 minutes and do like 10 approaches. I can do about 3 in that amount of time, if I'm being honest. And for me, I like to make the approach count as well. So if I'm going in seriously, I will stick in until I decide, actually, I'm not really that attracted to the girl, or if she's not interested. So like last Sunday, I did Saturday and Sunday. And last Sunday, I did do a 40 minute one. I only did 3 approaches, but every one of them I made count, really. So yeah, it is about how much you're making them actually count. Yeah, the less slick approaches, they definitely can work better. But it's a balance though, isn't it? Because if you're not warmed up at all, let's be real, you might not even go in. You might not even go in for the real one you want. If you've done some warm up, like let's say you've done 3 approaches, then the one who comes along that you really fucking fancy, you probably will go in for it. Whereas if you're just out the door and you see like a super babe, it can be a little bit overwhelming. You're like, oh, what the fuck? I'm not ready yet, you know. So yeah, so just to get back to the limiting factor of time. Let's say Saturday, if I go to the mall, well, I'll get a taxi down to the mall. I will actually run some errands. I've got some stuff to do. Then I'll do some approaches, you know, and I might do 3 to 5 approaches, right? But it will take a couple of hours out of my schedule, the whole thing, right? And that's just on a Saturday. I in certain points of the year, I can't do that midweek. I can always do it on a Saturday, but I can't even do that on a Sunday at a lot of points in the year. I definitely can't do it midweek. Like now, I can't do that midweek. I can't spend a couple hours out. That's a weakness in my own schedule, yeah, because really the goal is to be having an income literally passively like a noble, yeah, which is, I actually think that's the best goal. Like the ultimate goal is to have a passive income where you truly work when you choose to work. You might work 20 hours a week, you might work 100 hours a week, or you might work zero. But as long as you're still actually like, you know, whatever you're doing, if you're busy, you can't get out as much. So yeah, time is a limiting factor. Now let's say you do an approach and you've got a girlfriend, you want to live the player lifestyle. That's what people don't realize. If you want to live the player lifestyle, that takes time, right? That takes time out of your schedule. It's just not for a lot of guys. If you're super career focused, you're working. There's a member of the entourage who, when he got introduced, he said he worked 14-hour days. I just remember thinking, well, what you coming to do cold approach for? You don't have any time to do it. But he's actually, you know, he's managed to do it. He's managed to apply that. Richie, here we go, 16. I was wondering if you were in. Yeah. So he's managed to 16-hour days. So he's managed to apply some of that same focus into daytime approach, but there is still a brute reality of there's only so much you can do. There's only so much you can do. So yeah, I think the best way to do cold approach, in my opinion, if you have that kind of Richie style of life, and frankly, this more or less the style of life I've got at the moment, is do it in seasons. Do it in seasons. Have your work season where you go in like you are going like pedal to the floor, pedal to the metal on work. Get yourself out still on a Saturday and do something, but then the other 6 days just work. But then have an immersion period of like, let's say a month or two where you go, right, I'm going to work 4 days a week, or I'm going to work 5 days, but I'm only going to work 6 hours a day or something. So I think that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Yeah, seasonal. But for me though, like the way you did it in September, you went hard in September and you even let a few work things slide. I think that's the way to do it. I mean, for me, there's an exact correlation between how much I'm working and how much I'm not going out. And then there's an exact correlation between what kind of results I'm getting with approach and how much I'm going out, obviously. So for me, summer's always been good because I have a slightly slower schedule. I'm still working, but it's not as hectic. And like the cognitive load it's also the cognitive load as well. When you've got a very high cognitive load, like 6, 7 days a week, you get out and it's like you can't. It's hard to even socialize. That's what I find. Whereas when you're actually decreasing the amount of time, you're decreasing that cognitive load. You can actually go and be a bit more of a free human being and enjoy your life a little bit. That's actually when you can meet a great girl. You can have some good experiences. So time definitely is a factor. Yeah, when you're not working, you get anxious. I get it, dude. I get a lot of the things you say because I'm quite similar. I'm quite similar. Like, yeah, I dislike the summer months because it's weird because when I'm under the cosh, I don't like that either. But then when I'm in the summer and it's like way less activity, then I start to get a little bit jittery on it. It's hard to find that balance. I do think though, to be honest, we're from a business point of view, you know, there are many people who've got businesses where they don't have to work that much. There really are people like that. I mean, a close friend of mine, his first year, a couple of years of business, I was like, how's he making? He's making like 300K a year. I'm like, how the fuck's he making this? I see him. He's working like 3 days a week. But he had so the way he was, yeah, basically he just had like one crazily good client. But I think modeling your business and lifestyle where you actually got a lot more free time is a good way to go. Is a good way to go, and that actually takes more thinking, that takes more strategy, and that takes, in a way, it takes more balls as well, because you have to let go of things that give you that comfort. Even I've thought this. I'm like, what if I just took with like one client? What if I just took my entire annual salary with one client, and then I only had to do like 2 months work with them, and then the next 10 months I could just chill. I know in my own mind, even though the same money was already there, I'd be thinking like, I'm more comfortable going back to the way I used to work because I've got more of a daily type of thing, and I know this much is coming in and stuff. Day in, day out. I pretty much know how much is coming in per day. No, I know exactly how much is coming in every single day. But that would be a new setup. But that type of setup, something like that, is what I need to get to. Single point of failure. Not really, mate, because if your client's already paid you, bruv, I'm saying at the start of the year. Yeah, I know what you're saying. But let's say your client's already paid you, you do 2 months work with that client, you get your money for the year. The next 10 months, then you can just recruit the next client. Um, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I personally like I've got quite a lot of people on my books at the moment, and it's a balance. It's actually easier to have fewer. It's easier to have fewer, and you make more money as well with fewer, I find. But like, you don't want it to be one, obviously. Yeah, I don't know fucking how many I've got at the moment. Last year was easier because I had two big ones, and then the rest were all just the bonus, basically. You go. All right, then we'll go into finances in a second, but I'll say this to, yeah, once you have a good run, yeah, I mean, I think I'm not going to try and change your mind because you're doing well, mate. You're doing fucking well. But let's say on what you're doing, can you get to 1 million a year on your own? Because if you say you want to make as much money as you can, even if that's your only goal and you still want to work 60, 70 hours a week, you still have to do something different. I mean, not that you fucking need to be fair. But yeah, even if your only goal is work, even if your only goal was work and you wanted to maximize that and you don't even care, like, because I care about lifestyle. So I would be looking to improve lifestyle through removing myself from my business, increasing income and improving lifestyle. Even if you wanted to stay very active within the business to get it to an even higher level, there's still a cap on what you can do as an individual. There's always a cap on what you can do as an individual. So yeah, even though like the goals might be different, the lifestyles might be different, in a way the problem is quite similar. Problem is quite similar. But yeah, it might be a different type of business. This is what I'm thinking at the moment. Like, so yeah. But yeah, the point on cold approach is, yeah, time. Um, what kind of time can you dedicate to actually being sociable and having a life? What kind of time? Because that does take time, man. You can't dedicate no time to your personal life, then expect to have a good one. It needs to have like maybe a couple of evenings a week, maybe one evening a week, and then at least a Saturday. I would say that's minimum. One social event in the week of a small description, even if it's just going for coffee, and then and then going out on a Saturday and actually doing stuff. To me, that's a minimum. Otherwise, you can't. There's no way, and that's like maintenance mode, in my opinion. Well, for me anyway, personally. Uh, yeah, lean heavily on tech. Yeah, you're already fairly maxed out, mate. To be fair, I mean, you're doing fucking well. So I mean, you know, but yeah, my only point was everyone at some point is probably going to face that same problem. Like, and I know because it's because we're all individualists. We all want to do it all ourselves. It's like at a certain point, well, you can just keep going like that. But if you want to go up in terms of earnings, or you want to go up in terms of earnings and lifestyle and time, there's different models that need to there's different models that need to be brought in. And there's literally thousands of business models, to be honest. There's fucking thousands of business models, thousands of ways to make money. So yeah. Um, like at extreme end, like look at like movie stars. I know this is an extreme end. They do like a couple of movies, it's like 4 months work a year. The rest of the year they're just fucking chilling, just posing around. Um, so yeah, but I don't want to talk too much business here, but it's just business is related in the sense that work is related in the sense that it's a limiter on your time. So a lot of guys are quite unrealistic. Potentially you're quite unrealistic here, Richie, if I'm being honest. Like if you think you're going to live a player lifestyle working like you work, it's just not going to happen in my opinion. You can have a girlfriend and I think that will be a better lifestyle for you. Yeah, like have a serious girlfriend, and then if that's what you want is to keep doing 6 days a week for like the next 10 years and just take it all to the moon. I just don't I don't see why guys like that would want to actually have different girls around. And to me, that's just too much complication and confusion. Um, you know, um, yeah. The only exceptions would be like if you actually had a career where you were somehow like meeting loads of women or something, like you worked in fashion or some shit like this. Um, but you've got to be realistic with what you can do in your lifestyle. I think there's too many people have been sold bullshit by RSD and Andrew Tate, like, oh yeah, you can make millions and you can have fucking 10 girlfriends. I'm sorry, most wealthy guys have like a solid wife. They usually have quite a dull personal life because everything is all about, yeah, most high achieving guys, the majority I would say, have got quite dull personal lives because you can't be having, you know, uh Latoya's coming over, you know. Oh, now who have we got tomorrow booked in? We've got Veronica booked in tomorrow. Oh, we've got Sarah from down the road booked in. And then these girls aren't just like prostitutes who just show up and then leave. Like there's pipeline, there's communication with them. There's probably going to be some emotional drama with them. There's all these other things that come into play. So yeah, I actually think having a girlfriend or a serious relationship, I think is good for business, to be honest. I think it's good for business. It doesn't mean you have to necessarily commit to a marriage, and it doesn't even mean you only have to shag one girl for like the next 5 years. You can have your little side things like here and there, but they're more like, I call those fresheners, like a freshener. That's what I've been doing the last few years, 3, 4 years. It's like, for the most part anyway, because otherwise it's just too distracting. It's too much fucking craziness going on in your life. You want to have like one girl you see every week. You've got that consistency, and then maybe once, twice a month you bring in another one you've met out somewhere just for a Wednesday night. And, clear the wine bottle away on Thursday, and then that's it. And you're back at work. Um, that's actually realistic. Um, Two Viking brides. Yeah, you can have a couple. You can have a couple, but what you're gonna I already know what situation you're gonna get into a situation where you completely wife up both girls, and then you feel really guilty about it because you want to try and be you want to try and be the husband to both girls. I already see that situation. Um, yeah, yeah. Um, I mean, do whatever you want, but I'm just saying as a general comment, there's been a lot of selling guys the player life with really no idea about what that's going to entail. And if you're doing a business which is highly technical, highly cognitive, you're behind a computer most of the time, is it actually realistic? And you say you want to work as much as possible because it makes you feel calm and good. Is it actually realistic to think you're going to have like a 10 girl harem? I don't know. I don't know. Um, yeah, two for redundancy. Yeah, exactly. Um, last year when I really got rolling in my cold approach from November to June, I just had one girl, and I think pretty much. And I intentionally discipline myself because I've got a lot of work to do. I still want a cold approach every Saturday to build the skills and get better. But it's probably from about December, January through to June, just one girl, and like that was practical for me. That was practical for me, and I think you've got even more on than I've got on. So yeah, um, yeah. Um, so is there anything else? So, but in any case, just time considerations have got to be taken seriously. Time considerations have got to be taken seriously. For me, when I get the most babes, I get the most play, I get the most craziness going on. That's when I'm working. I've got a bit of downtime in my schedule, which for me, I kind of like to go seasonal. Like whereas like there's like a down season, it's okay. Because if I do what I'm doing at the moment year round, I mean it would be intolerable to be honest with you. I'd quit. I'd probably like tell my clients to fuck off or something because I've got to be face to face with people for like a lot of hours per week, you know, taking them through stuff. So you do need downtime in fairness in what I'm doing just to do like non face to face work. So for me, when I've got that downtime, then I can socialize more. I can have this type of lifestyle where it gives me that downtime. Then I can get ramped up. Then I can go into geared up mode for a period of time. Um, yeah. Um, but yeah, time is a major one. We saw one of the other guys, Sean, in the entourage. He was like flying over the summit. Does a similar thing to me, albeit on a much bigger scale. Um, and he was like over the summer flying like an animal over the summer, and then even he went into isolation mode, for months on end. He only just really has come out of it about a month ago, So yeah, that's it's just the real world. The real world, you've got shit to do. So was there anything else I made my notes on? Yeah, the last thing is with time as well. With time is like what kind of it's not just when you're out, it's what kind of state are you in when you're out. Like if you've just done 100-hour week, yeah, you you might be able to go out for 20 minutes on a Sunday, but what kind of state will you be in? So I think yeah, that's another factor to consider as well. So I personally like a lifestyle of balance. If you don't like a lifestyle of balance, then I think that means you need to go extreme at one time and then like take some downtime where you consciously go, okay, I'm still going to be extreme, but I'm going to go extreme into the girls for a while and then just keep everything else ticking over. I don't see any other way to do it realistically. You just can't do everything all the time. Um, yeah, been out, yeah. I'll be out this weekend and work crazy hours and limited sleep. Yeah, yeah. So you have to switch over fast. Yeah, I mean, well, it'll be just interesting to see how you do with it. I think you do pretty well with it, to be honest. But I wonder, do you think you would be better if you actually were relaxed, or is just not in your nature? Because I remember up in Manchester, I thought you did really well last summer when you hadn't slept for like at all. You got the fucking train up to Manchester. You did a session. Um, I was pretty impressed with that, to be honest. Um, yeah, I like to be relaxed, man, when I'm going out. So, like, yeah, sleep in a bit on a Saturday and then go out and just enjoy the day, enjoy the girls. Um, yeah, some people, yeah, Ian, I think we should be less relaxed. Yeah, exactly. Everyone's different. If that's actually what you need to relax, then I kind of get that as well. Um, there's times in the year where I'm like, yeah, I could take the evening off from from 9:30 till 12 or 1. But actually, I'll find it more relaxing if I just go to a bar and I work in a bar. Honestly, that's what I was doing in January. It's like I won't if I'm here without my work, I just won't be able to relax. I may as well just bring it with me. Um, yeah, yeah. So all this stuff kind of all plays in, but we've got to be realistic on time commitments And guys, I'm sorry, guys who like working crazy hours, just the biggest of a player you're going to be is having a girlfriend and then seeing maybe one other on the side now and then, like once a month. Even if you have two girlfriends, well, you'll see. I wouldn't recommend it. I've done it. I really wouldn't recommend it, especially when you're busy. You'll feel like a slave because you'll go from one to the other, and that'll be your entire personal life. Um, yeah. Okay, so that is. I think those are the main points. I can just kind of chill now. I've got my bought my first magazine in Cyrillic. So it's not. I thought it was a magazine. It's a fucking crossword puzzle, which is going to be even more fun to do. I'm going to bring this. This might be my Friday night in. I went to a club last weekend and I just thought, fuck this. I'm not going to any more of these fucking clubs here, especially solo. It was an Afrobeat night. I got so much mistreatment from the club staff. I was like, fuck you, peace, you absolute scrubs, yeah. Fucking mistreat me. Bye, yeah. You shit. Keep your shitty night with 30 people in it. I'm gonna go home and just learn Cyrillic script. Yes, that's what I did last week. But it's probably my Friday night tomorrow. Rock and roll. What happened? I think I put it in a different video last Friday. I think no, I did a video on it, but I never published it. But yeah, last Friday, I thought, well, like I had Friday. I like to try and take some time out on a Friday afternoon. So I took some time out, relaxed a little bit, did a bit of learning, a bit of studying. Right, it's Friday night. Let's go down. There's a night on. Message the people in advance. Do I need a table? Like I said to them, I want to come down, but I don't want to get a table. They said, yes, fine, come down. So I get down to the place. It's an Afrobeat night. So there's the crowd is some African people who live in Belgrade, which is not many at all, some students, and then some tourists. And that's the night. Yeah, it's a fucking small night, but it's actually really good music, which is why I went down. All I wanted to do, literally, was go, sit down, have a couple of drinks, probably of Coca-Cola, and just listen to music because I like to be in a place where the music's loud. I like to feel the beat. I like to feel that bass inside almost vibrating inside me. And I like that music. So that's all I wanted to do. And I get down to the place. First of all, the door staff are really weird with me, like way too much security, like way too much body patting and checks and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, do I look like a fucking Chechen warlord? Right? Just this is not a big night, right? I'm not coming in carrying an Uzi, but anyway, that was the security. Every member of staff I encountered was just basically a cunt to me, or at least not very amenable. Then I go to the bar. The bar manager's weird with me. Yeah, he like when I go to pay, he takes my card and runs off with it instead of bringing the machine over. Anyway, whatever. But I still don't mind. I'm still basically having a good time. Then there's no space at the bar either, so I can't sit at the bar. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to go on a table then, aren't I? There's enough empty tables. I'll go on a table. I go onto a table. I get kicked off by this couple who tell me it's their table, and I'm like, it's obviously the girl who's leading this. By the way, if you go to table service bars, stupid, low status, low wage girls, which is most of them. Sorry, I want to rant, but a lot of them anyway, young ones, they love trying to lord it over the fact they've got some fucking table. If you dare set foot near their territory, yeah, they're gonna fucking buzz over to you. I just thought, okay, this is their table, so fine, whatever. I don't care. I'll just move. There's another one there. I'll go onto that table. Turned out it wasn't even their table anyway, but whatever. I'll move over. Then the bar manager comes over. I'm on an empty table. The bar manager comes over and tells me I can't sit on the table. And I'm like, all right, mate, where do you want me to sit? And he's like, go and sit at the bar. I was like, there's no seats at the bar. And I can't remember, I had a back and forth with this character, right? This bar manager. And I was just like, bye, mate. Bye, you fucking loser. I'm going. So I just got my stuff. I was actually kind of seething by the time I went over to the woolen sock pen. The thing is, right, this place, is it's aspiring to have lots of full tables. That's why I messaged them in advance and I said to them, I'm not going to get a table, right? I just literally want to come for the music. I'll sit at the bar. Am I all right to come down? They said, yes, definitely come down. I got there, genuinely, 2/3 of the tables were empty. Yeah. So there's empty tables everywhere, and it's like nearly 1 a.m. by this point. So they're not going to get full. It's completely like, no, maybe about 12, but it's completely empty, the place, half empty. And he's still kicking me off the table. That's why I was so pissed when I left. I was like, mate, you're a literal retard, yeah? You utter moron. Because I'm the type of person, like, I'd stay there the whole night and I would get involved and, I would participate in the night. And if I like it, there's a couple of Russian girls I was telling about this particular club. I potentially could have brought them on another night. So that's these people who work in hospitality, yeah, some of these people are morons. They're so stupid. Like, it's like, dude, you're just losing clients. You're an idiot. So that was that one particular night. I like that. I do like that club. I've been to it before. Like, I think it's almost a shame. Like, the manager's the worst aspect of it. The first few times I went, he wasn't there, but I know he's the manager. And the night ran really well. It was really fun, really relaxed. And you had this absolute fucking moron running it. And then in terms of the other places, I don't know, to be honest, Richie, because I've been picking my shots with the nightlife. I've just been going to kizomba, salsa, and then Afrobeat a little bit a weekend. So I've not been out to the other bars, which actually do look really good, to be honest. Belgrade does look like it's got a really sick nightlife scene. But that's what I saw in September, but it's like it's fucking -5. I can't be asked to go out at night at the moment. But yeah, exactly. It is stupid behavior on the part of those staff, but it was also like, for me as well, it was also like, I don't need to be in here, man. I don't need to be in here. Like, it was a weird realization. I was like, should I even be out at the moment? Like, I'm 39 years old. I've done that whole scene. I've done it to death. I think I prefer to go back to clubs like the last time I was in a club before this, I was out a bit over the summer, and then last year was really when I was just taking my girlfriend out, take her out, just have some drinks and dance with her and stuff. Yeah, but Richie, I've been a club promoter, mate. I've been on honestly, I've been on way more than 1,000 nights out. This is what I'm saying. And it's literally, I'm trying to think of it would be like you say, like you saw a bunch of Russians or something, like you'd be like, do I really need to hang out with Russians? I've just been out to a disgusting extent. Honestly, I think if you put most guys in the entourage, if you put everyone together, I think they'd still have been out to less clubs than me. I'm not exaggerating. I used to go like it was my job. Monday night, Forum. Tuesday night, Rev. Wednesday night, where was Wednesday? Oh God, I don't even want to go there. Thursday night, Rev. Friday night, Viper. Saturday, maybe go out of town somewhere. It was 7 days a week, dude. I've definitely had weeks where it was 7 days. So that's the thing, dude. That's the thing. It's if it was like a rare occurrence for me, but it's like I've been to so many nights. I've also been a promoter as well. So when I go to a scene, it's like when I don't get treated well by a place, it really fucks me off because I'm like, I know how it all works, and I know how shit your night is, and I know how much money you're not making. So don't come and treat me like you've got fucking, I don't know, like you've got fucking Akon playing here, or you've got fucking, I don't know who the fuck you've got playing here, right? You've got whoever, some big act playing here. You're nothing, right? Treat me with actual decency. Like it's literally, you have to. But our club scene isn't fun anymore. People don't know how to have fun. Yeah. I mean, people can still have fun, but I kind of know what you're saying. I looked on the graph actually. There's a graph of UK club attendance, and it actually says UK. The peak was 2008, and it's gone down massively since 2008 in the UK. I felt that my promotion was already when the scene was not what it was. My promotion was from about 2016 to about 2019, 2020. That's when I was doing my promotion, and it was good. We had a last kind of hurrah with it, but I think it's gone down since then. What kind of club places would you go to if you lived in NYC? I would go to the Latin bars. I'll go to I'd go to the Latino bars. I'd go hang out with Dominicans if I was in New York. Yeah, they've got their own little scene, obviously. Miami was good for that. Miami was really good for that. So yeah, that's kind of the conclusion there. Solo as well. It's not as fun. It's not as fun. I'd rather go and do a daytime session if I'm solo. Uh, Sound's gone. Hello. Is it still gone? Got me back. I might have been an idiot having my finger over the sound or something. Was it over the mic? I don't even know where the mic input is. It's a bloody Brazilian Samsung. Um, yeah, I was just saying, how you boys doing? Ian, you're both in England actually, right? Manchester and Manchester and London. Yeah. So yeah, got 2 more weeks here. Just been to the gym. Nice, nice. How's the gym? How's the workout scene going? That's good, man. I'm into the 24-hour gyms personally. I like to work out at like 10 p.m. after work. Just go when I'm completely like. That's when you see the real beasts as well. The real beasts are in there at like. Oh, nice! You're gonna go on a night out. Classic. Nice. A weekend night out. Nice, nice. Booked in. Yeah, here to be honest, in Belgrade, the gym's quite busy. At that time, it's quieter, but it's still quite busy, and that's when you get the real fucking beasts in there. That's when you get the guys who are like, you're dedicated when you're showing up at like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. Just I'll stay in there till 1 a.m. Um, your mate's off traveling. Where's he heading to? But yeah, that's me. Like Monday, Tuesday. I just do 2 sessions a week at the moment, but I just do them hard. Oh, nice, nice. Moving in with your friend, having your 30th. You're still staying in Manchester? Odera, thanks for the question, mate. I actually thought you were a woman. Just, I don't recognize the name. And I do sometimes get women tuning into the channel. I don't know what for, to be honest, because it's not really for them, the content. They say that one of the ladies said she felt like a spy. But anyway, how many approaches per night would you suggest for a beginner at day game? It would depend on a lot of things, bro. Before you even start approaching, are you Nigerian? Okay, what God has written. How old are you, Adira? But yeah, this would depend. This question would depend on your social experience in general, on your delivery. Okay, so you're 31 in March. What's your background insofar as relationships go? Have you had a girlfriend in the past? Have you been married in the past? Um, have you been laid in the past? Have you done approach at night, or have you just, what's the situation? What's the situation? Ian, I'll get back to you, mate, on this. I'm just interested to know what this guy, because this guy's come in with a situation which that's kind of what I'm hoping people are going to share, to be honest. So you're coming up to 31. Multiple girlfriends, never long term, have decent game, but don't know how to keep the baddies. Okay, so you're Nigerian, 30 in New York, and so you've had girls in the past. Okay, so it's just like to get an idea of what bracket you're in, because some guys will be like, I've never actually had a girlfriend. You've never had something long term. So your issue has not been on acquisition. Your issue has been on actually keeping the girls around. Is that you? So you can get hot girls, you just can't keep them. Red purple pill, bruv. Please drop that garbage on my channel, bruv. That's garbage. Most of the people who invented that stuff, like Rollo Tomasi, all these guys, they're all fucking losers. They all got autism, bruv. Yeah, literally, they've got like bad autism as well, not like mild. Yeah, not always in the best shape. But in terms of the girls, dude, in terms of the girls, right? You can get them. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. I'm not trying to be a dick to you, mate. It's just most of that stuff, those people are idiots, man. Trust me, your brothers in Nigeria know 10 times more. Your uncles in Nigeria know 10 times more than those idiots. Like, trust me, dude. Nigerian guys are good. Nigerian guys are good. Old Nigerian men. Are you fucking kidding me? There's a guy in Nigeria who's got like 100 fucking wives or something. There's like been stories about this guy I've read in the paper. So you're not always in the best shape. Yeah, see, there you go. Traditional values, that's why. Richie, what's purple pill? Oh no, don't get Richie. Don't give Richie more terminology. Oh no. Richie, be careful, mate. You're going to go down a purple pill rabbit hole now. Before you know it, you'll be bottling eye contact on DLV. Right, let me just get back to what Ian said here, because we can take a quick break from Odera. We'll get back to Odera. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. So, okay, so your mate's going to Asia, Thailand, Japan, Southeast Asia, maybe America. He's going to drop like plenty of cash, 20K. Nice. Yeah, that'll definitely, that'll be a trip of a lifetime. Giving yourself time to think as well is really important. Because when you're in the rat race, the grind, you don't have any time to think. You just don't. And 2 weeks off it's like it's not enough. Like if you want to have a real big shift in your life, there may be a lot of soul searching that needs to be done. So giving yourself some time could be good. I guarantee you'll find a girlfriend out there. You'll move out there. That's obviously what's going to happen. Find an Asian girlfriend, and that'll be it. They move out there to paradise. Okay, so, but just to confirm, Odera, you're able to get attractive girls and lay attractive girls. Is this the case, yes or no? Because what I'm trying to establish is it retaining these girls that's your issue? Or is it that you can't get past, like, let's say a girl who's like, she's kind of hot average, like mid, like decent mid? That's kind of what I'm trying to establish. Like, is retaining the girl the issue, or is it actually getting the girl the issue? Yeah, that's funny. And yeah, some guys can't be pleased, can they? It's like, bro, just enjoy it, man. Enjoy it. Yeah, because retention and acquisition is two quite, they're different things. I don't like those terms because it's like, it's very corporate and it's like retaining them. Yeah, so the girls who are hot don't stay, but you can bang hot girls. Yeah. Are these white girls or these, black girls, Latina girls? Are these African girls? These foreign girls? These American girls? What's your market? The fact you're actually banging hot girls is quite good. Mostly black and Latina. The Americans. Or are they Nigerians? The Americans. Well, that's the first place you're going wrong, if I'm being honest. American girls are the worst on planet Earth, bruv. Yeah, that's just a fact. They're the least attractive, most stupid uh, retards. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think they're doing you a big favor if they're leaving you, mate. To be honest, yeah, it's a trash culture, dude. It's a trash Caribbean. Okay, so maybe some Dominicans and Cubans in there as well. Well, my advice was just some basic stuff. If you can get them, that's actually good, mate. Because most guys who are coming in, they can't even get girls at all. So if you can already get the hot girls, then you're already doing pretty well. The issue is you're saying on retention. Could be a few different things. They just have a better option than you, basically. They have a better option than you. Or they perceive themselves to. So, I mean, there's different ways. You want to make yourself the best option you possibly can. So that will, for a long-term thing, that will entail getting yourself into some better shape, basically. You want to get yourself into better shape. How's your dress? All that basic stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, mate, there's a high concentration of Latinas in New York. I don't know if you've been to New York, but it's pretty high. It's about 30% of the population. It's pretty fucking high. So I think he won't. I think he'll have his fair share in New York. They're trash, mate. Let's just be. I'm sorry, Odira. Let's just call a spade a spade. They're fucking trash. Yeah, American girls are fucking trash. Um, yeah. But yeah, I think making yourself the best option that you can. Like if you want to date seriously, you want to find the peak attractive girl for a long-term relationship. Making yourself the best offer is part one. It's part one. Yeah. So there's no excuse to be in bad shape. You can get yourself in good shape. Okay. Especially if you're fucking Nigerian, mate. Come on. Bloody hell. Come on. So all you need to do is look at the weights, yeah? You just look at the weights, imagine lifting the weights, there you go, you're jacked already. But no, seriously, there's no excuse for that. There's no excuse for that, especially at 30. There's no excuse for that. So I think you'd be better off investing, even if it's once or twice, even if it's just on a Saturday and Sunday, one day on a Sunday, one Saturday morning, Sunday morning, and getting some kind of physicality going, see where things land. Is your dress on point? Is that on point? Are other things on point, like when you're actually laying these girls, are you actually giving them a decent rattling? Or is there something you're doing in your sex? I don't, I don't think there would be though, because if the other ones are falling in love with you, I don't think it's probably that. But you got to think about that as well. You've got to think about that as well. Um, yeah, bruv, if you can find a decent American girl, honestly, they're fuck. Honestly, I literally despise them. They're total trash. Every place I've been, they're loud, stupid, annoying, know-it-alls. Despite if they were know-it-alls, like Dutch girls, right? Imagine Dutch girls, but way stupider and way more loud. That's what you're dealing with. um, there is like genuinely there's the 1 in 10 American girls who are actually really good. But the problem is for me is like it's pattern recognition. So in like Brazil and like Dominican and a little bit in Europe, I'm traveling around. The one nationality of women that are just loathsome is the Yanks, right? It's the and then yes, 1 in 10 of them is really good, fine, and that's what our boys in the entourage they've got to find that 1 in 10. But for me as a foreigner, I just hear the accent, I'm like, no, gone, not interested. Like, what's the point? Because every single, I don't even try to even interact with them. It's they sit down and they're so loud and so stupid and so offensive to the intellect that it happened even in Macedonia in my bar one night. Some Americans sat down, and within about 5 minutes, these girls, I was like, I'm gonna have to move. I went right to the other side of the restaurant. When the guy came over, I was like, yeah, dude, I just can't sit next to those American girls. Yeah. Um, but yeah. Um, so for me, like the world's got 4 billion chicks. I'm not going to waste my time on the least attractive ones. So now we're getting to it. So you've got a diet issue here, mate. You've got a diet issue. Um, yeah, obviously, Rich. Yeah, there will be some normal ones. Of course, there definitely is. But as a ratio, the ratio is atrocious, dude. Like I can walk out into Belgrade, and I would say 9 out of 10 girls I'll meet will be normal. When I'm traveling, granted I don't travel to the US, but I don't know if it's the ones who travel or what it is. They're so heinous. I can't stand them. Um, yes, okay. So Odera, brother, it's not even the girls. It's not even the girls. We need to get these sweets sorted out. We need to get these sweets sorted out. We need to get this diet sorted out. We need to get that sorted out, man. Because if you got good game and you've got everything on point and you're doing well already, that might be the thing that's holding you back. Because if that girl can get with a guy who's got charisma and all this type of thing, but is also in some good shape, he might just beat you. He might just beat you. It's going to be a little bit competitive for those more attractive girls, especially in a place as superficial as the United States and promiscuous. Um, yeah. Have you ever lived in America, Richie? Um, I think you have some. I think if Richie, I think you have a fantasy about Jennifer Aniston. I know what you're saying though, because you met the girl from your club, right, recently. So she's an American. This is the thing. Those types of girls, though, yeah, she's like that southern counties type of girl, southern states, right? Wasn't she? She was that southern states type of girl. Um, Yeah, top shelf ones own passports leave the USA. I mean, so do I, mate. So do I. This is the thing is a lot of the girls I'm meeting are in Brazil. I have a particular hatred for them because like there's groups there's a in Brazil, American women between the age of 20 and 30 are currently or when I was there they were essentially blocked from using Airbnb by the owners in Brazil because they were going to Brazil. They were scamming the owners. So what they do is they go, spend a couple of nights in a place, make a complaint on the first night that they got there. It was a fake complaint, stay for 2 nights, ask for a refund, and they would get a refund. Uh, I'll go into why in a minute. They'd ask for a refund, then they'd leave and then go somewhere else, like to a hotel. And so it's like instead of paying for 7 nights, you pay for 5. And they were doing this en masse, right? So this was a scam that was being run exclusively by American women between the ages of 20 and 30. And I know this because like my landlady, like I became really like good friends with my landlady Valkyria. Because when I had my phone stolen and stuff like that, she fucking loaned me money. She helped me out with everything. So we started talking about different places and different things, and she was complaining to me about American girls. I was like, really? I was like, I mean, I'm no fan myself. I just find them irritating. And she told me what they were doing. I was like, man, I was just thinking to myself, I was like, can you imagine being that much of a scumbag? You're going to the third world, to the developing world, and you're scamming people in the third world. You're from America and you're scamming people in the third world. Then I saw it in the Dominican Republic. This group of American black girls come into the cafe that I do my studying and working at. And they come in, they're all dressed up, right? For the fucking Instagram. And then they order a ton of food, ton of drinks, and then like the guy comes over to take the card thing, and she does something weird with the card, and I clocked it when she did it, but I didn't really know what was going on, and they leave, and then about 20 minutes later, the guy comes over to me and goes, "Hey, do you know those girls?" Because I probably said something to them because I heard them talking at some point, and he goes, I was like, "Nah, that's the first time I've ever seen them," and he goes, "Yeah, they just did some weird shit with the card, like they've not paid, and they just had like a load of food, right?" I was like, "Oh, for fuck's sakes, that's an absolute joke." I think they did that on purpose, because I saw it happen. And yeah, and then those guys, so these people who are working on $20 a day, that came out of their wages, right? That theft came out of their wages. Yeah, so they have all had to pay like whatever it was, $60 or something. Each of them had to pay like $5 or something. The people working in this cafe. I'm just thinking, what kind of utter scum are you as a human being? You're not actually a human being. So I actually consider them to be beneath the level of a human being. You go into the third world, you're abusing people in the third fucking world. You're from America. I don't honestly like, yeah. Uh, the punishment for what I would do to those people would be medieval. It's just so disgusting to me. And so I was seeing things like this a lot last year. So this is why I actually have an even like great level of like I just don't want to be near these people, right? But even before that, it was bad. But after seeing that type of thing, I just like I just these people are pure scum. So yeah, there's the 1 in 10. There's the 1 in 10, and in fairness, there were a couple that I did meet, and almost immediately I just dismissed them. And afterwards, I think, yeah, I shouldn't really do that, but I've just got this pattern recognition now. Um, let's have a look here. Let's have a look here. So yeah, I've been on a rant there, but that's my situation. But even so, even with all of that, you're getting a lower grade product in America for a way higher price. I'm an entrepreneur. I want the highest grade product for like the lowest possible price in terms of investment, time, money, effort, etc. It's like, like we've seen it in the UK, right? Richie's seen it in the UK. You're getting a lower grade product for a higher price. Holland, low grade product, high price. I'm not interested in that. I want high grade, low price. So there's a lot of comments to go through here. So let's have a look here. So, okay, so yeah, so you've got a weight issue, then you've got a mental health crisis. Okay, so always lost weight, lost 50 pounds, then had a mental health crisis, fell off. Yeah, I mean, what you can do, so 193, so you're walking around about 193 with a six pack. So you're probably pretty fucking strong, big bloke. You can probably carry a bit of extra weight, to be fair. 250 is probably a bit much though. I'd also say as well that if you are carrying that extra weight, you need to be delusionally arrogant about it. You need to literally be delusionally arrogant about it, and you need to pick your shots with the women. Some women like will buy into that arrogance and they'll dig it. Some not so much, but there are some women who they actually like a guy with a belly and stuff. They genuinely do, but you got to really fucking own it. Yeah, so the ones who leave are good by comparison. The ones that stay in the States, yeah, I know what you're saying. I mean, you say that, but yeah, the ones who are doing now, there's all these girls because of Instagram and stuff. They're all traveling. They're going to Brazil and fucking, Dominican and stuff, and they're conning the locals. Southern US for day game, hotel price. Yeah, I've looked into the US as well, man, for remote work. It's just like, what's the point? It's just so fucking expensive. Um, Yeah, I saw a video of the black lady trying to do the same thing on a cruise and getting locked up for it. Yeah, so she should be, man. It's to me like to go from the USA to try to rip people off in foreign countries. It's the richest country in history of the world, and you're going to the third world and ripping people off. Honestly, it really pisses me off. They're really like nice people as well. I want to do a week in Cowgirl County. Um, yeah, you travel like you're an ambassador for your country. I mean, yeah, yeah, I know what you're saying. I mean, at the very least, just don't. You don't have to even be an ambassador. Just be a human. Be a human. Fraud is like a second job, a hobby for some people in the US. It's weird. It's weird. Um, There's tons of honest, hardworking people, but scammers give us all a bad name. Yeah, this is the thing. Like the American lads that I've met overseas, the blokes have been all right. They've been all right. They all pay their way. They're all normal. Some some of them are a bit loud, but that's all right. When they're American, they're allowed to be. I've never seen American guys pulling shit like that. I've only ever seen women doing it. American women doing it. I've never seen any women from anywhere else do it either. I've only seen American women do that. Same thing in Nigeria. Yeah, obviously Nigeria's got a scam. That's more internet scamming though, isn't it? Um, this happens to an extent in the UK as well. Yeah, you got fraudsters and all of that. It's just imagine though, like the sickness of that. You'll go in, you've got like expensive clothes on, you've got jewelry on. Those people earn $20 a day, and you're scamming them. I mean, to me, that just like literally, honestly, I'd straight up fucking. I can say this on a live. If it were the medieval age and we were under the rule of the Ottomans, I think Mehmed II's punishment of impalement would be appropriate for that kind of a crime. That's what I will say. I'm not advocating that, but that's what I will say. I like the medieval punishments, man. They definitely were a deterrent, yeah? I mean, what do you think would happen to people in modern day like Saudi Arabia if they pulled shit like that, you know? Yeah, maybe. Maybe they got all the stuff through fraud. Yeah, you're probably right, Odera. They probably got the clothes through fraud, you know, and then yeah. And then go on holiday. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Um, yeah. It's just like the way to do it. It's almost like, if someone tries to rip me off or something, do you know what I mean? I'm like, "Okay, fair enough, I'm from Britain, try and rip me off, whatever. You're like here, like, the taxi drivers here, they will try and fucking rip me off. I'm from England, end up arguing with the taxi drivers here in Serbia. But like, I'm from England, yeah? If the Serbian taxi drivers were going down to like, I don't know, where the fuck would they go down to? They go down to Moldova, which is even way poorer, trying to rip people off, yeah? Or, yeah, it's just sick, innit? Um, yeah, exactly, I agree. No, so I've just had a lot of bad experiences essentially with American women, but even aside from those, I just don't think they offer a very competitive package by comparison to other nationalities. I think that's I don't think there's even an argument to be honest with you on that one. I don't think there's any way controversial. So yeah, we want to get the best package we can if we are going for the wifey. Um, but yeah, it sounded to me, Adira, like for you, like maybe getting working on the health and the weight and stuff would be maybe probably the biggest thing actually. Fuck the girls, man. The girls are going to be there. You're 31. The girls are going to be there in a few years. You can still go out. You can still get your sixes and sevens. But the other thing as well in America is like what is described as a baddie is like usually just a girl who's really made up. The arrogance of these girls is fucking demented. I remember seeing three like these black girls from America when I was in Greece. They thought they were unbelievable. There was some because I was hanging out with the Latino crew in Greece, right? It's Colombian guy, Dominican guy, and Cuban guy, and then little old me here, um, fucking Englishman. And I remember like these American girls, they thought they were unbelievable. Like these guys were dancing with them and stuff like that, and they were like almost like oh we're too good for these guys. And I'm looking at these girls, I'm thinking, what planet? And this is I've had this so many times. Like what planet are these girls on? They're literally like sixes. I'm in Greece, yeah. Have you seen some of these fucking girls here? They are a joke. Greek girls are some of the most underrated on planet Earth. They are like literal goddesses. You can tell they practice fucking like, they killed all the ugly children and shit in like Sparta. Like, fuck me, dude. Some of those chicks are a joke. Greek girls are some of the most underrated in the world. Um, so yeah, I just think like finding a market where the girls are, should we say, more down to earth. You might get that with like some immigrants. I'd stick to the actual immigrants, not even the American ones. Um, but yeah, unfortunately, mate, I can't really give too much advice to someone who's wanting to date there. You have to go over to Poole University. Go over to my friend at Poole University, because he's from America. He's from Ephraim, and he's constantly dating all these American girls and stuff like this. So he probably will give you much better advice with American girls because he actually likes them. So I'm really not the person to ask. Um, yeah, impalement exactly, and yeah, I read a great book actually about Nepal University. It's called Pull University, Pull University, Pull University. Yeah. Um, he's a member of a group I'm in, who's a group of guys who do daytime cold approach, and he's fucking sick. He's fucking sick. I mean, there's a lot of good guys in the group. He is right up there. He's very very good, and he's started to post in fields as well. Um, so yeah, if you're wanting to get started, yeah, I'm getting Ephraim a new client here. But if you're wanting to get started and you're in the States, honestly, bruv, I'd think about going and I'd honestly think about going and training with him. I think he's starting to take enrollments. I think in the next few months. Um, yeah, but he's fucking good. He's fucking good. And this is the final thing as well. With are you using apps, Adira, or are you going out into the street, or are you going to nighttime, or are you going social? Where are you getting your girls from? Where are you sourcing these girls from? Yeah, Ephraim, if this guy comes to work with you, yeah, I want a commission, yeah? You don't do, oh yeah, don't do apps, yeah. Richie. Okay, sounds good. I want to work with you. I'm off the apps. Mostly just been on campus, haven't been too active in school. Yeah. I mean, look, watch Paul University's channel, watch my channel. I'm doing something called virtual wingmanship. Um, I'm doing something called virtual wingmanship, which is basically where we do a month of infield, and you go out into the field basically for 90 minutes on a Saturday, and I take you through a daytime approach session, which in a place like New York you can definitely do. Now, what you'll notice about daytime approach is a lot of the things, your insecurities about your body and things like this, because you've got so much balls to actually go over there to begin with, you're pretty much nuking half the competition out the window anyway. Because, like, all of these other passive American guys are doing this. Yeah. And you're just going balls to the wall. Hey, excuse me, stop. You look amazing. You're going straight in. And as Richie can attest, once you just start approaching with balls, that's pretty much all that matters. And in fact, I've actually done virtual winging with Richie as well. We've winged each other like quite a few times now. So yeah, you can you look at videos on my channel. If you want to book a call, you can do that. Equally, go check out Paul University. He's right over there in the USA. So if you actually wanted to work in person, he would be someone to work with you in person. Um, but yeah, I think there's within my group of guys, there's a few of us who are actually there's a few people obviously putting content out now. Obviously, there's Christian, there's Ephraim, there's me. And he's offering different options for people in this space, which is a very small space. But what I could envision for us, whether this happens or not, I don't know. But there is a possibility we could start to construct the infrastructure for male development, which I don't think currently exists. Just having one coach like Christian is amazing. But like if you've got a few of us, then it becomes like an actual infrastructure. It's like I've got this guy here in Europe and Asia. I've got this guy who can do remote. He's approached in fucking Muslim countries, approached all over the place. I've got this guy over in America. Yeah, he's young. Yeah, I'm 39, and then Christian's 27. So we've got this variety of ages as well. I think there's some good infrastructure. Um, yeah, the reason I don't like, I mean, I actually do respect RSD in terms of a lot of the things they said were actually good. The problem was though, like once I actually found out a lot of what they were doing also was just pure fakery. That soured my fucking, it soured things for me. Yeah, like that's a good point. Casey's and oh my God. Richie, was Casey the one that Sean was talking about the other day? I think it was Casey, wasn't it? Casey Zander. Oh, I've got some inside information about Casey Zander, Dara. Yeah, I can give you some. So this is the thing with this whole space, yeah? A lot of these guys, it's whether they do it or not, exactly. And I know some of them do, but a lot of these guys, who was it that Sean was talking about? Sean was talking about somebody. But anyway, a lot of these guys are just pure marketers. They're absolute frauds. I remember once I remember once yeah, I mean, so for example, RSD, I know for a fact some of the girls in their videos are actresses, which I don't think is acceptable, to be honest. I can understand why you would do it from a production point of view, because I've thought about, I was like, man, to actually do a good demo with a real girl, with like a, yeah, I'd have to get a fake, I've got a cameraman who's like hiding in the bushes somewhere. So to an extent, I can understand why. But if you do that, you should disclose it. You should say, this is a model, right? This is a model. This is full disclosure. But I'm going to take you through it anyway. But this is a model, right? She's an actress. But to actually be doing it in a fake way, I think is not acceptable. The way they also charge, like RSD, they charge guys 20K, 20 grand. Yeah. These guys aren't even getting laid, bro. They're not even getting laid. 20 grand and you're not even getting laid. Never mind finding a girlfriend or a wife. Fuck me. To me, that's disgusting. Like, you know. Let's have a look here. Technicians of the craft. It's not a craft though. That's the other problem as well. It's not a craft. Anyway, it's more just they're just shit in general. They're pussies in general. Oh yeah, Zan Perion. Yeah, that was it. Zan Perion. Yeah. So this is what I was saying, Odera. There's guys in. We know there's aspects of RSD that turn out to be fraudulent. We know they're charging a lot of money for no results, frankly. There's this guy Zan Perion who's like written books about women and stuff, and he's apparently a very good writer, and he may be a bit of a psychologist and good on relationships and stuff like that. But like, apparently, according to someone who's actually worked with him, he doesn't even do daytime approach. He doesn't even do approach. So I'm like, what is the blind leading the blind? You should have at least my reference points. Like, I've got good reference points personally from a decade in nightlife and travel internationally, so I can compare different countries. And then I've also got 18 months going pretty hardcore in daytime approach. There's only a couple people even in my group who've been keeping the kind of pace. I don't make a big deal of it, but I keep a pace on this. There's not many people who've been keeping this pace this last 18 months. Richie is definitely one of those people. So that's where my area of expertise is, right? You can see it in my videos. I'll be posting more in fields as time goes on. So I'm not saying I'm the greatest seducer of all time, but I've got some experience. Some of these guys, they don't even have any experience. I'd say my other strength as well, probably as a knowledge base, is the group of friends that I roll with are complete monsters. This is separate to the entourage guys, just mostly from UK, Colombia, and Bahrain. Total monsters, complete monsters. So like, I'm just normal in that group, really. Some of them are married and stuff now, so that group has kind of changed. Push pull, yeah, female nature, bro. These fucking faggot Americans, man, I can't stand them. Push fucking pull. What are we dealing with here? I mean, female nature. Oh my god. Yeah, they don't push anything, they don't pull anything. They're complete bullshit artists. Do you know what I do when I go on dates? Yep, with Badskis. Do I do push-pull? Nope. I just chill out, just talk to them like a normal person. Yeah. If I'm attracted to them, pull them in for some bachata and then kiss them. It's not really that complicated. Push-pull, man. I don't know who these coaches are. Yeah, I think it's a bad angle to look at coaches because most of these people are freaks. And I say that as I'm not a coach, by the way. I'm a wing. It's a different thing. I'm a wing. I can guide you through stuff. I'm a wing. I'm not coming on saying I'm the ultimate guru who understands everything, yeah, about female nature, which is not even real anyway. Like, yeah, there is, like, female nature is not even real. Like, you've been with different women. You've been with different women, Odera. Are they all the same? Like, on a deep level? No, they're completely fucking different, dude. There's girls with all sorts of personalities. You've probably been with Caribbean women, Mexican women. You've been with Mexican American women. You've been with women maybe in Nigeria when you were growing up or whatever. Are they all the same? No. They're way fucking different. Yeah. Culture is the biggest overlay on this. Nature, yeah, to an extent, like, but the nature is actually to our benefit. The aspect of female nature that these fags don't understand is the female mind craves submission to a strong man that she looks up to. She craves that more than anything. If you are actually that, there is no if you cross that threshold, you've got total loyalty. In a way, I don't think as men we're quite capable of the same level. Like, I have to force myself to be loyal. But I know I've been with girls where they're like, I know they're telling me the truth. They're like, I will wait for you for a decade. I'm not even joking. Because it's built into them. It's built into them. The submissive brain, like it's part of who they are. So it's like once you cross that threshold where you're like the pinnacle for them, and that's not going to happen, by the way, with every woman or even most women. Yeah. So when I say this about like the girls, my girls, they're my girls. Yeah. That's not some other guy's girl, or like this other girl who was kind of indifferent to me. I don't give a shit about her. But there's a bracket of girls that is your group. Those are your girls. And like maybe you need to up your levels a little bit this is according to what you're saying. But who will wait for you forever, dude. Yeah. Who are born to be your fucking servant, basically. This is what they want on a deep level. Yeah, American girls are very out of touch with this, but their DNA will kick in. So these idiot coaches don't realize any of this stuff, right? They don't understand it. Yeah, you need some kind of framework, charitable reading at least. I would say if I was a complete, yeah. The best, I was going to say before this though. Yeah, when you don't give a shit, you attract more than when you actually try to. Yeah. Yeah, sure. It's just displaying normal confidence. What I would say there, Ian, in my opinion, though, is look around you. Are there guys around? I'd say look at the real world first before you listen to a coach or you read too much, right, of the red pill stuff. Like, or alternatively, if you can see coaches who show footage of themselves doing cold approach, or you can see them with an attractive girlfriend or multiple attractive girlfriends, I would say that's getting a little bit more legit. But I would actually always look around you socially first. Is there anyone who's half decent around you? Okay, what's he doing? Oh yeah, that's cool, isn't it? What has worked, and then look into your own life and go, what has worked for me? When have I been effective? A lot of these lessons, we already know a lot of these lessons. We just don't listen to ourselves. Or maybe the people around us that we saw that we're good, we just ignored that and we just look at someone on the internet and think they're magically better because they're called RSD. Yeah. The old PUAs were better. They used to do this thing called the PUA Olympics on MTV after the book The Game came out. That was fucking sick. That was really sick. They actually filmed live in field on MTV. I don't know if it was like Mystery Show or something. But yeah, that was really good. Yeah, the gym cell culture. Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, this is what I said in the group the other day. That like I went out the other day and on last Saturday, completely essentially dommed this group of girls and the boyfriend who came in, who was this big jacked Serbian guy. And I completely commanded the situation because I've just got confidence and I know the situation and I can banter back and forth with them. And it's like, that is so much more powerful than the gym. It's kind of insane, to be honest. Yeah. So we've gone to a rant about PUAs, but yeah, the PUA Olympics. I think that's on YouTube actually. It's worth a watch. PUA Olympics. Any other news that's not women and pickup related? No, yeah, actually, this is pickup related. This week I was kind of like I was in. I'm still figuring out the angles on like cafe approaches. Cafe approach is something I'm still figuring out the angles on. I can do them in in bits and pieces, but there's something about the claustrophobia there. I don't know. But anyway, I'm sure I'll sort that out. So I always find a way to do stuff, but I'll have to figure that out as well. Oh yeah, what you're reading at the moment, yeah. But no, so that's the only pickup thing that I've got really related is just, and I can do it in cafes outdoors. I can do bits and pieces, but there's just a few weird claustrophobia situations. Maybe it's also because I'm working a laptop as well, and then I've got to go over and do a group of 10. I don't know. I think we were talking about it in the entourage, just saying basically just chat. Your banter is strong, your physique, but not really. Yeah, I think Odera, you're pretty good, mate. To be honest, and I think if you're thinking of starting some daytime approach, 31 years old, you've got a few girlfriends behind you, you've already been with some hot girls. I think you're pretty much ready to go. Have a look at there's a video I did on it was something along the lines of who's this calling now? I can answer a call while I'm on a live. I don't think I can. That'd be fun if I could. Yeah, but I think you're ready to go out. So Adira, maybe check out a couple of my videos where I give you just a very brief synopsis of what you actually do in a daytime set, because it's a little bit different. It's not too different, and that'll maybe give you a couple of structures to use. But basically, you start with a bold compliment, and you go from there. That's obviously potentially quite different to nighttime. But you might be subtle or you might be whatever. You can't be subtle in the day. You got to be quick. You got to be bold. It's good. It's good. But I would also recommend getting yourself a little bit socially warmed up as well. You don't have to do this, but I find it helps. Yeah, keys to VIP. Yeah, so I'm gonna get off fairly soon, but yeah, there. Yeah, Ian, mate, your approach like 18 months ago was like I've seen you in approach like you're like the Stan Collymore of approach. You're like in and out of it. You're like all over the place, but I've seen your talent in approach is very fucking good. Yeah, so what I'm reading at the moment is a fucking Serbian quiz magazine. I'm also going back over Nietzsche. What collection is this? Just before bedtime. A Nietzsche reader. Yeah, I always remember the Aldi one, but I've seen you in the mall and stuff. I think, yeah, I think your approach is, well, you probably just lack consistency, mate. But to be fair, maybe you've just got other shit on your plate, to be honest. Like, it sounds like you've already had plenty of girls, so um, it's whether it's adding something to your life, basically. If it's no longer adding anything to your life, and there's maybe other things to worry about. But yeah. Yeah, Nietzsche reader. What does Nietzsche have to say about women? Let's have a look here. Nietzsche's got some of the most gangster fucking lines on women ever. I bet I can find a quote on women, actually. I bet I can. Well, actually, yeah, truth is a woman. Truth is a woman. That's at the start. He's such a good thinker. I've never seen Nietzsche matched. I've never seen him matched. What have we got here? Oh yeah, here we go. On women. Uh, oh my goodness me. Courageous, untroubled, mocking, violent. This is what wisdom wants us to be. Wisdom is a woman and loves only a warrior. Each puff. You absolute animal. Yeah, you got syphilis from a hooker, yeah. He did actually, yeah. Oh no, the whole syphilis thing with Nietzsche is I think a little bit overblown. So we don't really know that he had basically you know why he was maligned after World War II, Richard. You know exactly why he was maligned after World War II, and he was essentially excommunicated because he was the favorite philosopher of the fascisti movement. But he's also a favorite philosopher of the communisti movement in many cases as well. So, but yeah, whether he actually got syphilis or not actually is maybe somewhat debatable. He died of people. Basically, people said he died of syphilis. He went mental because of syphilis, and they took a scene from like one of Dostoevsky's books and said he broke down in the street with his syphilis and he started hugging a horse. That was complete fiction. It was complete bullshit. He actually died of a congenital brain condition, which also killed his dad as well. His dad died at about 30 something with this brain condition, and then Nietzsche died in his 40s with this brain condition. And so that's what is most likely to be some kind of tumor or something that sent him mad. So I think he even used living on borrowed time, even from quite a young age. I love the fact we've got. Take it easier there. We're talking syphilis now. Yeah, proposed the same woman. Yeah, he was rejected by. Apparently, she was quite the catch. This lady though, she was like an aristocrat. Do you know what I mean? Nietzsche was gunning for the aristocrats. Yeah, the Austrian painter. Yeah, but he was like, I think that's such an unfair characterization of his philosophy because, like, yes, the Nazis you had Nietzsche was one of the things that inspired them because Nietzsche was a nationalist, right? But the communists were also inspired by Nietzsche as well. This idea of like the will to power and stuff. He battered communism, but they still were attracted to his ideas. There's so many people who are attracted to his thinking. Yeah, Nietzsche wasn't an aristocrat. No, his dad was a Lutheran pastor, or he was like a church, whatever. Is it Lutheran? No, church of whatever, Protestant pastor. So his dad was a pastor, and his mum was a kind of housewife. So he was brought up like within the church. He was very educated. He's prodigiously brilliant. He was youngest professor. I think it was. Well, let's have a look. I think it was Bonn University or something. Let's have a quick look here. He was the youngest professor of a university, age 24. He was the youngest professor in a German university ever. He was given a full professorship at 24, which is fucking crazy. Like, that's absolutely crazy. Yeah, philology. Professor of philology. Yeah. This actually leads me to something quite interesting. So, the philologists of the 19th century, they looked at linguistic roots between like Western European languages, Eastern European languages, even Sanskrit. So, for example, like no, in French, in like Serbian and Russian, it's ne. It's kind of like that's very similar, right? These are very distant things, and it's very very similar. And they look at other structures as well. Like for example, will be another one, vidim. I don't know if that's the same in Russian, but in Serbian, vidim is like to see. Is voir in French, veo in Spanish. You could say visual in English. There's a kind of link there. And they're going, there's some common ancestry to these languages. And so they started to trace it back. And they traced it back, they thought, to some part of basically like the Caucasus, Russia, Ukraine. And they thought basically there was there was some kind of a civilization that swept down from those mountains and basically colonized everywhere. Yeah, and it actually, and then people, and those guys happened to be European, right? We're talking 5,000 years ago. People don't like the theory because it's like, oh, India's language, it didn't come from Europe, whatever, you know. Serbia's language didn't come from like Russia or whatever, whatever. And so it's like, this is a very unpopular theory politically. And then they started doing the DNA studies about 20 years ago. And it's like, yeah, that's exactly what happened. Exactly what happened. So it's interesting that 19th century linguists, they actually understood something that 200 years later, just from tracing back words. So philology, so that Nietzsche's discipline, just from tracing back words, they predicted something in the history of humanity and history of civilization that DNA studies have actually proven 200 years later. Yeah. We're all Russian. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we basically are, mate. We basically are Russian Ukrainians. Yep. They swept as far east as Ireland, that group. Sorry, as far west as Ireland, and they swept as far east as Japan, and they swept down into Greece, and they swept down into India. Imagine that. Unbelievable. Yeah. Yeah, these were way before the Mongols, but yeah. Chechen Maxing. Yeah. Um Hopefully when I start doing some infields, like yeah, hopefully when I start doing some infields, the Chechen will feature me. Maybe I'll send him a few bits and pieces, and he can do a technical breakdown of my approach. Are you boys out tomorrow? Rich, you're gonna go do a session, right? Oh yeah, you've already said Ian, you're gonna be out at your mate's party. I'll go and do a bit. I'll go and do a bit. Go and hit them all up. I can see. Look at the look in my face. I've got a look of like almost can't be asked, but I'll go and do it anyway. Um, yeah, sorry, Saturday. I'm thinking more actually. Yeah, Saturday. What am I talking about? It's probably Saturday. Um, I've often found if I do a little bit on Friday, if I just chat a little bit on a Friday, and then Saturday, I'm like Saturday pings a little bit more. Saturday and Sunday, yeah, great. Um, yeah, yeah. In terms of like limits on daytime as well, I do think like I said there at the start, like location. There comes a point where like how good do you need to be? Do you know what I mean? Like yes, you could be the greatest daytime approacher of all time, but like you could just be good enough and then go somewhere where you're kind of doing pretty well for yourself, like you've been doing, Richie, like I've been doing. And then it's kind of like, well, then you just, at the end of the day, you want the result. Um, yeah, yeah, that is kind of how I am now. To be honest, it's like I don't really want to approach, but I'll do it anyway. It's so that I can do this channel and I'm not bullshitting, basically. Um, but I also do think as well, like it's been a winter thing. Like I've just been doing a lot of approach, but there's gonna come a point in the next month or two where I'm like, okay, I need to just be starting to go out on more dates again. Actually doing more proactive with the follow-ups and stuff. At the moment, I don't even follow up. It's fucking weird. Um, yeah, yeah. Not even, yeah, but it's even, yeah. At the end of the day, you only need one. Um, I think if I wasn't making content, I don't think I'll be approaching. I think I'd just be like, I'll just get some. I like Albanian girls. I'll just find some Albanian chick around Serbia somewhere. um, I like looking at Serbian girls, but I feel like it's potentially quite high investment for like quite good reward, to be fair. Maybe good to get a Serbian girlfriend for the language. Um, yeah, you don't want to become an approach artist, but I'm just doing it really for the channel more than anything. It's a nice break. This channel's a nice break from the rest of my work. If I don't do other things apart from my main work, I would be so fucking. It's my brain is so screwed at the end of the day. I'm just like, it can keep going, but it needs to do something new. Um, An American girl. Oh, mate, I've done like a 45-minute rant against American girls today. I can't change the way I feel. It's just how I feel about them. At the end of the day, it's just how I feel about them. I'm not a woman hater. I pretty much love women from like 90% of countries. So it's just those particular girls that just don't work for me at all. Um, yeah, Serbian women are good, mate. They're fucking good. They are fucking good, dude. Yeah. Um, it's definitely one of the most underrated destinations I've been in for women. They're really fucking good. Um, there is a culture gap though with Serbian women, more for me than it's weird. Like there's some women like I get like Albanian girls, I get Turkish girls, I get even though you would think I'll be close to the ortho girls. There's a bit of a culture gap there though for me, which I can't quite bridge. Um, yeah, you've done the Romanian girl, haven't you? Yeah, you had your Romanian girlfriend, Bulgarian. Bulgarians have got the highest amount of Neanderthal DNA in the world. There you go. There's the explanation for old Tom. He got kicked out. It's not his fault. Yeah, he's got too much Neanderthal DNA. This is what you get for being an absolute like philology and fucking genetics geek. Yeah, your Romanian girl's amazing. Yeah, but I think you didn't want to be stuck in Sheffield, mate. Do you know what I mean? Um, yeah, you cold approach as well, didn't you? It's a good way to get them, to be fair. There's always that stick or twist. I think as guys, we're like, um, we regret girls that we left, but then if you stayed with them, you really might. I think you're probably better off alone, especially until you're like at a certain point. I think when you get to like 50, I think you might have to make a deal with the devil, but like until that point, unless you're what's the guy I shared yesterday, the French guy. But I think if you're relatively young, I think if you're not sure, you're better staying out of it, in my opinion. I think you should be really sure you really want this girl, you're really attracted to her, and you really think she's great. Um, yeah, I mean, I say you're better off out than in, unless because of, I think the demands of once you're in a relationship, it gets very stagnant and all that type of thing, and your life may stagnate in one place. I think the downside to that is much bigger than the downside of being lonely for 6 months. Um, exactly. I'm getting a call from a girl in Dominican Republic right now. I'm literally getting a call. I'm gonna call her back after this live. She's becoming a secretary. The girl I was dating last year, she was studying and now she's becoming a secretary. So this is a good quality girl. She's a secretary. She's a good cook. She was a lean girl. Since I started to get leaner, I went from the curvy girls to the skinny girls. It's fucking weird. It was so weird. Yeah, I started to get attracted to the skinny girls. It was really fucking strange. But yeah, she's got a real skinny little frame, this girl. And it feels like I'm like, because I'm going to the gym and stuff, feels like I'm like a barbarian. Just like pick this skinny little thing up, throw her on the bed and just fucking break her in half like Conan the Barbarian. It's quite a good thing. When the girl's thicker, you feel like you're swimming in like you're swimming in flesh. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, yeah, it's weird how it changed. I mean, I still do like curvy girls, but before basically, I didn't like skinny girls. Just did not interest me at all. And then I kind of leaned down a lot, and then I was like, whoa, that's weird. I like skinny girls now. I still like curvy ones, but I got an attraction to the skinny girls. It was like weird. I don't know why that was. Do I associate women with food? I don't know. Right, boys, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to go speak to the secretary now. I'm going to go and simp for the secretary who's calling me. But in fairness, I think I'm just talking. I'm talking shit at this point. Been on to Nietzsche and Serbo-Croat fucking crosswords. So we'll leave it there, boys. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your approaches. Richie, it'll be interesting to see. Get some infield photos at least. Share with the group and stuff on a Saturday. Rishi, I want to see you do pound land. 3 challenges, right, Rishi? 3 challenges before I finish. 1 pound land approach, yeah. 1 big mama approach, and 1 like the tallest girl imaginable approach, yeah. Sounds good, mate. Sounds good. So we've got, what did I say? Greg's or something, whatever it was. Greg's, yeah, big chunky girl, and then a huge like 7 foot basketball player. That would be fucking legendary to see that on a bit of footage. Take it easy, boys. Have a good one. La noche.